um, as you start walking the spiritual path, you start having great insights, and other people will come to you, and they might complain about something or have problems, and I'll get emails from people, or do life coaching, and oftentimes I realize, man, this person really does not want to change. And we don't accept this within ourselves, that we do oftentimes love our problems on a subconscious level. Consciously, we might want our lives to be different. We might want to be thinner. We might want to be happier. Might want to be more at peace. But in the majority of situations, we don't want to pay the sacrifice or the price in order to change our lifestyle or behavior or our inner world. We want to keep things the way we are, but we want to be entitled to bitch and complain about it. And in the beginning, I used to invest a lot of energy in trying to, help people. And oftentimes their desires and of what they think they want and what they think they should expect out of life and the reality are completely two different things. In other words, we blow out a lot of hot air. And oftentimes people just, you could see the cause of many people's problems, the root cause, what's going on, how they could fix it, and yet you're in complete awe and shock of their lack of changing poor habit patterns, decisions. They continue along the same path. And it's really important to be stingy with our life energy and to invest it. I had a sales job, and he said there's 3 types of clients. My boss taught me, very valuable, and this applies to so many areas of life. There's A's, B's, and C's. The first client, C's, are people that probably never heard of your product, don't have a big need or use of your product, and yeah, that's C. Then there's B's, that the customers that are familiar with your product, have heard of your product, have a slight need for your product, and are mildly interested. And then there's A's. They heard of your product, they're interested in your product, they have a need or desire for your product, and they just want to know where they need to sign. And the A's compose of maybe 5-10% of the people that you meet. And effective salespeople will spend their time sifting and weeding out the B's and C's and focusing on the A's. And there's such a small percentage of the population that it takes discernment. And I even heard one door-to-door salesman that he would be invited in the house and he would talk to the potential customer, and once he got any hint that they were a B or C, he would get up and leave. To the point where people would go, well, why are you leaving? We want to learn more about it. What you have to say. And his philosophy is, my life's too short to waste my time on people that are not highly motivated. And yet we spend a lot of time trying to help fix other people, and they really are not committed to true change. And then if we take that same mirror and reflect it upon ourselves, a lot of our own desires and things that we want to change about ourselves, we need to have a reality check. There's things in my life that I've constantly said, I want to do different, I want, and beat myself up. But when it comes down to it, I didn't want to pay the price. And then once I accept it, say, you know what, that's not something I strongly desire based upon my actions. And you start focusing on people's actions instead of what comes out of their mouth, the hot air that comes out of our mouths, the hot air that comes out of other people's mouths. Love the expression, your words, your actions speak so loud I can't hear a word you're saying. And part of the goal of the videos is to have people be empowered again by harnessing their life energy and not spilling it and wasting it on things that don't bring fruit. And there's just people that don't want to change, that they love their life, their misery, their problems. It's part of feeding the pain body, the ego. It makes them feel alive. We as human beings, for some reason or another, are drawn to suffering, and most of our suffering is self-created. So I think it's time for a reality check and saying, is spiritual growth or change something I really want? I mean, I just can't tell you how many times I've invested in people and they claim that they want to be different, and so we'll start mapping out solutions and there's very little follow through. So my best advice to them is just accept your life as it is. Stop beating yourself up. Stop trying to change, because your actions reveal you really don't want to. Your actions speak so loud I can't hear a word you're saying. And then we can start finding the A's, the people that really do want to help, do want to change their life, do are looking for guidance, and but I think most of the time, in most situations, we're blowing hot air, and it goes in every aspect of life. You know, I've as you become wiser, you start putting little stock or value on people's words, and you judge people by their actions. And when you come from that space, it just frees up getting hurt all the time, having unrealistic expectations, being disappointed, because actions reveal character, reveal desires of others, motivations, and it's just the great barometer in which we should decide on what's important, what's not important, and how to wisely spend our life energy.